Could one dress at Cannes 2026 be remembered for decades, while another fades away by tomorrow? Every year, the Cannes Film Festival delivers breathtaking fashion moments, but only a select few stars truly capture the elegance, glamour, and timeless beauty that define Hollywood at its finest. In this video, we'll count down the best-dressed celebrities who transformed the red carpet into a showcase of unforgettable style, reveal the standout looks that captivated photographers and critics alike, and uncover the details that made these fashion moments so memorable. As you watch, tell us in the comments which celebrity owned the red carpet this year, and let us know what made your favorite star so famous and beloved in your eyes. Demi Moore once again proved why she remains one of Hollywood's most enduring style icons when she appeared at the premiere of Paper Tiger. The acclaimed actress captivated photographers and fashion enthusiasts alike in a striking fuchsia evening gown from the avant-garde fashion label Métiers Focales. While many celebrities chose more traditional red carpet looks, Demi embraced a bold and artistic design that immediately set her apart from the crowd. The gown featured an oversized sculptural bow across the bodice, creating a dramatic focal point that drew attention without overwhelming her natural elegance. Flowing layers of tulle cascaded through the skirt, adding movement, texture, and a sense of theatrical sophistication. The vibrant fuchsia shade was equally memorable, bringing energy and confidence to the red carpet while complementing Demi's timeless beauty. What made the look especially impressive was the way Moore carried it. Rather than allowing the elaborate design to overshadow her presence, she wore the gown with poise and self-assurance, demonstrating the confidence that comes from decades in the spotlight. Her styling remained refined and balanced, allowing the craftsmanship of the dress to take center stage while preserving the classic glamour for which she has long been admired. For many longtime Hollywood fans, Demi Moore's appearance served as a reminder that true style is not about following trends, but about expressing individuality with grace. In an era when red carpet fashion often chases attention through shock value, this look managed to be daring, artistic, and elegant all at once. It was a memorable fashion moment that reinforced Demi Moore's reputation as one of the most sophisticated and fearless stars of her generation. Sharon Stone delivered one of the most unforgettable fashion moments of the event, proving once again that true Hollywood glamour never goes out of style. The legendary actress stepped onto the red carpet wearing a breathtaking creation by designer Miss Sohee, a look that blended artistic craftsmanship with timeless sophistication. Known for her confidence and elegance, Stone carried the ensemble with the kind of presence that only decades of experience in the spotlight can bring. The striking black and white gown featured intricate embroidered motifs inspired by stars and delicate floral elements. These carefully crafted details gave the dress a dreamlike quality, combining celestial beauty with the romance of nature. Every section of the garment appeared thoughtfully designed, rewarding close attention with layers of texture and visual storytelling. Adding even more drama to the look was an embroidered cape adorned with sparkling embellishments that shimmered under the lights of the red carpet. The cape created a regal silhouette, transforming the ensemble into something that felt almost royal in its grandeur. Long black gloves completed the outfit, adding a touch of old Hollywood sophistication while enhancing the powerful monochromatic color palette. What made the appearance especially memorable was the balance between luxury and confidence. Rather than relying on excessive trends or shocking fashion statements, Sharon Stone embraced a look that celebrated artistry, elegance, and individuality. The result was both commanding and refined. For many longtime fans, this appearance served as a reminder of why Sharon Stone remains such a respected figure in entertainment and fashion. Her Miss Sohee ensemble was more than just a beautiful dress. It was a statement of confidence, grace, and enduring star power. In a sea of red carpet looks, hers stood out as one of the most powerful and luxurious fashion moments of the evening. South Korean actress and singer Lim Yoona brought a sense of timeless elegance to the red carpet, captivating photographers and fashion enthusiasts with a look that felt both graceful and effortlessly refined. Known around the world for her beauty, poise, and successful career in both music and acting, Yoona once again demonstrated why she remains one of Asia's most admired stars. For the occasion, she wore a stunning white gown by designer Kayla Bennett, a creation that evoked the romantic beauty of a classic bridal look while maintaining the sophistication expected on an international red carpet. The dress featured multiple flowing layers that added softness and movement, creating a dreamy silhouette as she walked. Its structured, strapless bodice highlighted her shoulders and neckline, while the fitted corset design accentuated her naturally slender figure in an elegant and flattering way. The simplicity of the white gown allowed the craftsmanship of the design to shine. Rather than relying on bold colors or dramatic embellishments, the look embraced a more understated form of luxury, one rooted in balance, proportion, and timeless style. It was a reminder that elegance often speaks most powerfully through restraint. Yoona completed the ensemble with sparkling diamond jewelry that added just the right amount of brilliance without overwhelming the overall look. Her naturally flowing hair further enhanced the soft, ethereal quality of the appearance, giving her a fresh and effortless charm. The final result was both sophisticated and memorable. In a red carpet season often filled with extravagant fashion statements, Lim Yoona stood out through grace, beauty, and classic femininity. Her appearance proved that sometimes the most unforgettable looks are not the loudest, but the ones that radiate confidence, refinement, and timeless appeal. Next was the woman many fashion fans consider the true Queen of Cannes, Bella Hadid. Over the years, Bella has built a remarkable reputation for delivering some of the festival's most memorable red carpet appearances, and this year was no exception. At the premiere of the Garas, she arrived in a breathtaking custom-made Prada ensemble that perfectly showcased her signature blend of sophistication and modern glamour. The centerpiece of the look was a floor-length, strapless gown crafted from soft, light gray silk. The flowing fabric draped beautifully over her figure, creating an elegant silhouette that felt both timeless and contemporary. Rather than relying on excessive embellishments, the design embraced simplicity and impeccable tailoring, allowing Bella's natural beauty and confidence to shine through. Adding another layer of refinement was a matching tonal cape that complemented the gown perfectly. The cape introduced graceful movement to the ensemble and elevated the overall look from beautiful to unforgettable. Together, the gown and cape created a harmonious monochromatic palette that felt luxurious without appearing overly dramatic. Bella completed the outfit with matching high heels and exquisite diamond jewelry that caught the light from every angle. The sparkling accessories added just the right amount of brilliance while maintaining the understated elegance of the overall appearance. Every detail seemed carefully considered, from the color coordination to the balanced styling. What made this fashion moment stand out was its effortless combination of allure and sophistication. Bella Hadid demonstrated that true red carpet style is not always about wearing the boldest design, but about wearing it with confidence, grace, and impeccable taste. Once again, she proved why she remains one of Cannes' most celebrated and influential fashion icons. Few actresses embody elegance and sophistication quite like Cate Blanchett, and her latest red carpet appearance was another reminder of why she is regarded as one of the most respected style icons in the world. Known for her fearless fashion choices and appreciation for exceptional craftsmanship, Blanchett selected a stunning design from Givenchy's Fall-Winter 2026 collection that perfectly reflected her refined sense of style. The gown featured a sleek black halter-neck silhouette that immediately conveyed timeless glamour. While the overall design appeared understated at first glance, a closer look revealed intricate hand-embroidered floral motifs carefully woven throughout the fabric. These delicate details showcased the extraordinary artistry behind the creation, transforming the dress into a wearable work of art. One of the most captivating elements of the ensemble was the dramatic fringe detailing that flowed gracefully behind her as she moved across the red carpet. The movement created by the cascading fringe added texture and visual interest, ensuring that the gown looked just as impressive in motion as it did in photographs. Complementing this dramatic feature was an elegant open-back design that introduced a subtle touch of sensuality while maintaining the sophisticated character of the overall look. Blanchett completed the ensemble with long opera gloves, a classic accessory that evoked the golden age of Hollywood glamour. Her neatly styled updo further enhanced the gown's striking neckline and allowed the craftsmanship of the dress to remain the focal point. The result was a look that balanced artistry, confidence, and timeless elegance. In an evening filled with remarkable fashion moments, Cate Blanchett once again demonstrated that true style is not about following trends, but about wearing exceptional design with grace, intelligence, and unmistakable presence. Dita Von Teese, often celebrated as the modern queen of burlesque, brought a touch of classic Hollywood glamour to the Cannes red carpet with a look that felt as though it had stepped directly out of cinema's golden age. Renowned for her vintage-inspired style and unwavering commitment to elegance, Dita once again demonstrated why she remains one of the most distinctive fashion personalities in entertainment. For the occasion, she chose a breathtaking strapless gown by designer Tamara Ralph. Rendered in a soft, blush pink shade, the dress radiated romance and sophistication while perfectly complementing Dita's signature old-world aesthetic. The design featured beautifully sculpted draping and carefully placed pleated details that added depth and texture without overwhelming the overall silhouette. One of the gown's most striking elements was the contrasting black fabric accent at the waist. This detail created a dramatic hourglass effect, emphasizing Dita's famously graceful figure while providing a bold visual contrast against the delicate pink fabric. The result was both timeless and flattering, evoking the elegance associated with Hollywood legends of the 1940s and 1950s. To complete the ensemble, Dita wore long opera gloves, an accessory that has become synonymous with her refined personal style. The gloves added an extra layer of sophistication and reinforced the vintage glamour that has defined her public image for decades. Sparkling diamond jewelry provided the perfect finishing touch, adding subtle brilliance without distracting from the dress itself. The final result was a masterclass in classic elegance. In an era where many red carpet looks compete for attention through excess, Dita Von Teese reminded audiences that true glamour is timeless. Her appearance was graceful, polished, and undeniably luxurious, making it one of the most memorable fashion moments of the evening. Thai actress, model, and fashion icon Araya Hargate, widely known as Champu Araya, once again proved why she is considered one of Asia's most captivating red carpet stars. A longtime favorite at major international fashion events, she commanded attention the moment she arrived, delivering a look that was both regal and unforgettable. For the occasion, Araya chose a breathtaking creation by Tamara Ralph, one of the designers most closely associated with modern couture glamour. The gown featured a vibrant royal blue silk fabric that immediately stood out against the backdrop of the red carpet. Rich, elegant, and full of confidence, the color perfectly complemented her radiant presence and ensured that all eyes were drawn in her direction. The off-the-shoulder design added a touch of timeless femininity, while the expertly structured corset bodice highlighted her silhouette with remarkable precision. The craftsmanship was evident in every detail, creating a balanced blend of sophistication and drama. Flowing behind her was a magnificent train that glided gracefully across the carpet, adding movement and grandeur to the overall presentation. To elevate the ensemble even further, Araya paired the gown with a spectacular statement diamond necklace. The dazzling jewelry caught the light from every angle, providing a luxurious finishing touch without overwhelming the elegance of the dress itself. Together, the gown and jewelry created a harmonious look that felt worthy of a royal occasion. What made this appearance especially memorable was the confidence with which she carried it. Uriah Hargate demonstrated that true style comes not only from exceptional fashion, but also from presence and poise. In a festival filled with remarkable looks, her royal blue Tamara Ralph gown stood out as one of the most glamorous and sophisticated fashion moments of the event. What if the classic TV dads you grew up watching were hiding a secret the studios never allowed on prime time? Behind the perfect suburban smiles, some of America's most beloved father figures lived double lives that were carefully controlled or completely erased from the screen narrative. For decades, audiences believed they knew these family men, but the reality behind Hollywood's image machine tells a more complicated story. We uncover the hidden pressures, the silence, and the personal cost of maintaining an on-screen identity that didn't always match real life. Stay to see how these untold stories shaped classic TV history in ways most viewers never realized. Tell me in the comments, what do you think about how celebrity stories are presented to the public, and how do you see your favorite stars as public figures? Robert Reed, known to millions as Mike Brady in the Brady Bunch, came to define the image of the ideal American father for an entire generation. On screen, he represented stability, warmth, and moral clarity. Yet behind the cameras, Reed often pushed against the show's overly cheerful tone, clashing with creator Sherwood Schwartz over scripts he felt lacked depth and dismissed his classical theatrical training. He treated even simple sitcom scenes with a seriousness that sometimes created tension on set, insisting on nuance where the format often demanded simplicity. What was never openly discussed during the show's production was Reed's private life. He had briefly been married in the 1950s and had a daughter, but that marriage ended quietly. During his years on the Brady Bunch, Reed was living in a private relationship with a male partner, carefully maintaining separation between his public image and his personal reality. In an era when Hollywood offered little space for openness, he learned to navigate a double life: professional composure during the day, personal freedom in private spaces at night, always aware of the risk of exposure. Some colleagues later admitted they sensed the truth, though it was never spoken openly. Florence Henderson would later describe him as a tortured soul, suggesting that his emotional complexity often surfaced through his perfectionism and intensity on set. His dissatisfaction with the show's idealized scripts was not only artistic frustration, but also the strain of portraying perfection while concealing his own truth. Robert Reed passed away in 1992 from complications related to colon cancer, with HIV listed as a contributing factor. For many fans, it complicated the image of television's wholesome father figure. His story reflects not just a personal struggle, but an era in which silence was often the price of survival. Raymond Burr built an empire of authority on American television. As Perry Mason and later as the wheelchair-bound detective Robert Ironside, he became the face of certainty, calm logic, and unwavering control. His deep voice and composed presence made audiences trust him instinctively. He was the man who always had the answer, the final word in a world of doubt. Yet behind that carefully constructed image, Burr carried a private narrative that was later revealed to be largely invented. He often spoke of a tragic past involving a wife and child who had died in a plane crash. Biographers would later confirm that this story never happened. It appears to have been created as a protective explanation for why he never publicly dated or shared details of his personal life. In reality, Burr shared a long-term partnership with actor Robert Benavides that lasted for more than 3 decades. Together, Burr and Benavides built a quiet life away from Hollywood's spotlight, traveling extensively and even developing a successful orchid business. However, their relationship was carefully shielded from public view, reinforced by studio publicity strategies and carefully managed appearances. Even photographs were sometimes staged to maintain the illusion of a conventional single star. On screen, Burr's role in Ironside, a strong detective navigating life with disability, added another layer of authority and control, reinforcing the image he projected publicly. In interviews, he was known for his precision and firmness, often redirecting personal questions before they could be explored. When Burr passed away in 1993, Benavides was frequently referred to only as a business associate in official obituaries, minimizing a relationship that had defined much of Burr's private life. His story reflects an era in which image was tightly controlled, and personal truth was often reshaped or erased to fit the expectations of Hollywood and its audience. Sebastian Cabot's commanding presence and rich, velvety British voice made him a natural fit for the role of Mr. French, the refined butler raising 3 orphaned children in the television series Family Affair. He brought an almost theatrical Shakespearean dignity to a sitcom premise that could have easily felt lightweight, elevating it into something warm, composed, and quietly elegant. For many viewers, he became the embodiment of sophistication and restraint on screen. Off-camera, Cabot was known for maintaining a highly private life. He never married and rarely offered personal details in interviews, a silence that only fueled curiosity within Hollywood circles and media columns. When questioned, he responded with polished deflection, often redirecting attention toward his craft, his appreciation for literature, or his well-known passion for gourmet cooking. His ability to remain composed under scrutiny became part of his public identity. Within industry whispers, it was quietly acknowledged that Cabot kept the company of male companions, though he never publicly addressed his personal relationships. At the same time, he occasionally used humor as a form of protection, even joking that food was his only true vice. These remarks, delivered with charm and timing, helped steer conversations away from deeper inquiry. Cabot also lived between 2 worlds, dividing his time between London and Los Angeles, maintaining residences on both sides of the Atlantic. This constant movement made it even more difficult for speculation to settle into certainty. When he passed away suddenly from a stroke in 1977, tributes largely focused on his distinguished career and memorable performances, while his private life remained carefully unspoken, leaving much of the man himself behind a curtain of discretion and dignity. Paul Lynde became one of television's most recognizable comedic voices, sharp, sarcastic, and unmistakably theatrical. On Hollywood squares, his quick wit and exaggerated delivery made him the standout star, turning every answer into a punchline that audiences eagerly anticipated. Yet when producers tried to reshape him into a conventional, straight suburban father on The Paul Lynde Show, the contrast was impossible to ignore. The humor that once felt electric now seemed constrained, as if the format itself was working against who he really was. Viewers could sense the tension between character and performer, even if nothing was ever openly acknowledged. Off-camera, Lynde's life was far more complex. Among friends in Hollywood circles, he was known for his flamboyant personality, biting humor, and gatherings filled with industry insiders and young male companions. But behind the laughter was a deep sense of isolation, intensified by an entertainment industry that relied on his persona while refusing to acknowledge his truth. His queerness became an unspoken layer of his comedy, hinted at, laughed with, but never directly addressed. Colleagues often described him as brilliant yet troubled, someone whose wit could dominate a room but also push people away before they got too close. His humor functioned as both shield and weapon. Over time, the gap between the public character and private reality became harder to sustain. He lived in a space where identity had to be performed in fragments, never fully spoken aloud. When he died in 1982, he left behind a legacy of unmatched comedic timing, but also the quiet reminder of how much of himself he was never allowed to fully reveal. His career remains a portrait of genius shaped and ultimately constrained by the silence of his era. Hugh Beaumont is best remembered as Ward Cleaver, the calm, dependable father figure at the center of Leave It to Beaver, a role that helped define the ideal American household for an entire generation. With his steady voice, composed demeanor, and almost effortless authority, he became a symbol of parental guidance, firm when necessary, but never unkind. Before his acting career fully took shape, Beaumont even served as a Methodist minister, a background that reinforced his public image as a man of principle and quiet moral clarity. On screen, he felt like someone viewers could trust without hesitation. Off-screen, he maintained a life that appeared equally structured. He married twice and raised 3 children, presenting a traditional family narrative that matched the expectations of the era. Yet, as with many figures from early television history, there are limited public records and unexplored gaps in his personal and professional timeline that leave parts of his life less clearly defined than his iconic role. After Leave It to Beaver ended, Beaumont gradually stepped away from Hollywood altogether. Rather than pursuing continued fame, he chose a quieter existence, becoming increasingly private and removed from the industry that had made him recognizable across America. Those who knew him described a man who valued solitude and discretion, rarely drawing attention to his personal affairs. He passed away in 1982, leaving behind a legacy firmly tied to the image of Ward Cleaver. While his television presence remains one of the most enduring symbols of mid-century family ideals, much of Hugh Beaumont's private world stayed carefully out of view, leaving history with a figure both familiar and, in many ways, still quietly unknown. Robert Young is remembered most clearly as Jim Anderson, the calm, principled father in Father Knows Best, a figure who helped define the ideal 1950s American household. On screen, he moved through family conflicts with patience and quiet authority, offering guidance without anger and discipline without harshness. The role became so closely tied to his public identity that many viewers assumed the character and the man were nearly the same. That image, however, masked a far more turbulent private reality. Behind the polished performances and awards that reinforced his perfect father reputation, Young struggled for years with severe depression and alcoholism. His condition led to multiple hospitalizations, and studio publicity teams worked carefully to contain any information that might disrupt his wholesome public image. In an era where television families symbolized stability, even a suggestion of personal instability was treated as a threat to the entire brand. The pressure of maintaining that contradiction was immense. The man who portrayed emotional steadiness on screen was, off-screen, navigating cycles of crisis that rarely reached the public eye. Biographical accounts also mention speculation about aspects of his private relationships, though nothing has ever been confirmed beyond rumor and interpretation. What remains clearly documented is his reliance on treatment and the careful management of his image to preserve his career. Later in life, Young continued to use his familiar, trustworthy persona in commercials, selling everyday comfort and domestic reassurance. Yet those close to him described moments of withdrawal, periods where he seemed to retreat behind an internal wall, separating the public father figure from the private individual beneath it. When filming, he could switch into the role of Jim Anderson instantly, as if the character offered structure strong enough to hold back everything else. Will Geer is best known to television audiences as Grandpa Walton in The Waltons, a role that embodied warmth, wisdom, and the steady moral presence of an idealized American elder. On screen, he felt like the heart of the family, gentle, grounded, and resilient in the face of hardship. For many viewers, especially those who grew up in mid-century America, he represented a comforting image of tradition and simplicity. Off-screen, however, Geer's life carried a very different weight. During the 1950s, he refused to testify before the House Un-American Activities Committee, a decision that led to his blacklisting and effectively pushed him out of mainstream Hollywood for years. The consequences were severe, cutting off opportunities and forcing him to rebuild his artistic life outside the studio system. Around this period, Geer was also connected to Harry Hay, a pioneering figure in early LGBTQ+ activism, a relationship that later became part of the quiet historical record surrounding his personal life. Geer married actress Herta Ware, and they had 3 children, though their marriage was not defined by conventional expectations and included periods of independence and complexity. When Hollywood shut its doors, he responded not with silence, but with creation, helping establish an outdoor theater in Los Angeles that became a refuge for artists who had been excluded or marginalized. Years later, the Waltons revived his career when he was already in his late 60s, bringing him renewed recognition and stability. Even with success restored, he remained deeply engaged in political and social issues, shaped by the scars of the blacklist era. Those who knew him described a man who never treated fame as comfort, but as responsibility, using his platform to speak, support others, and remember what had once been taken from him. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next one.